Hey, Loki Fibrax here, aka LK. No. Hey, everybody, Loki Fibrax here, aka LK. No. No. That's stupid. No. No. Hey. That'll work. That's good. That's good stuff. So I'd like to welcome you all to the start of a long journey. Quick TLDR about myself. I've been into card games for about 7 years or so, mostly Hearthstone, Pokemon, and my most played Magic. And I never really had an avenue for Yu-Gi-Oh! None of my LGSs had Yu-Gi-Oh! And none of my friends really played. Actually, the only friend I really had that played card games was the one who got me into Magic. So it's not that I was really opposed to playing it, it's just I had no other way other than, I think it was Dueling Network at the time. I think that got shut down, and it's Dueling Book now? I don't know. But luckily, as of this year, a wonderful little gacha game came around called Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and that was just the gateway I needed. And goddamn, what have I been missing all these years? This game's fun. This game's really fun. Now that I'm interested in the game, it's time to get invested. And not that kind of invested. Now I wanted to bring kind of the spin of limited resource style reviewing to something like this. Putting a letter grade on a card is like such a good punctuation for reviewing it. And even though I will probably be, well, I will be wrong on a lot of cards, I think that's part of the fun, is learning from your mistakes in a card game is one of the best ways to learn. So even if I'm completely off base on something, once it's corrected, that's just something that's gonna stick with you forever, you know? I actually really just want to jump right in. This is probably my favorite part of learning Magic, and this time it'll all be documented. So I can come back to this in a couple of years and see how far I've come, you know? Let's get into the first one. So real quick overview on the grading system. A through F, I'm sure you can kind of figure out what that means, but just to be safe. A is what I'll define as meta defining. These are the best cards in the format, and decks are made around them, essentially. Bs are really good cards that go into meta decks, but not really what makes them meta. It's kind of just a cog in the wheel, helps it turn. Still really good cards, just not at the tippy top level. Cs are what I define as almost playable. Almost like if the Bs didn't exist, it would be well, that's a horrible way to describe it. They're just not good enough. They're just not good enough to be put into a good deck. They're just outside that boundary. Ds are just incredibly niche cards. Like maybe like a one of in like a tier 3 deck, but still has a little bit of potential. Like the text on it isn't egregious. It's just, there's just really no home for it. And Fs, these are easy. It's unplayable. Stone unplayable. I'm sure early on, there are going to be a lot of Fs. I think there's a lot of vanillas in the first set. So it might be a quick one. Might be a quick first 100 cards, honestly, which is good. And our example here, Summon Skull, is actually going to be our first card, according to Yugioh Pro Deck. And I actually don't know where to put this. It's a 1 tribute, just beat stick. I don't think this is good. I know this is an anime card, and Blue Eyes players are ridiculed for their deck never being good. So I want to say this card was never good too. When you break it down, right, my magic brain is going off, and it's saying this card dies to removal. I hate to be that guy. I hate to be the dies to removal guy, but this dies to removal. So instead of going wide and keeping cards off the board, you tribute over a guy for a slightly bigger guy, and at best you get a card out of it. Like you crash into one of their smaller creatures. Monsters. Nah. I'm gonna give this a D. This card's good enough to steal some games if your opponent doesn't have a combat trick or any way to deal with it. It'll probably just win the game solo, but you're just opening yourself to get 2 for 1. So Not a fan. Not a fan. D for Summon Skull. Next we have Aqua Medor, a 1220 vanilla. This is a little more interesting, I think. I think the 2000 defense is like big. It's kind of big than A. Sometimes I can't beat over Ash Blossom in Master Duel. Huh, Spellcaster too. I don't think that's relevant. Like in olden times. This card's probably playable, but still probably not the best. Being good on defense doesn't mean much if you can't still win the game. So I'm gonna give this one a C. I think this is not the worst card in your deck if you were to put it in, but I'm sure there's better options than this. Armail. There's nothing about this that's good. This is just a quick F. Ooh, an effect monster. Okay, finally. Armed Ninja. Flip, target one spell card on the field, destroy that target. Target is set, reveal it, destroy it if it's a spell card. Otherwise, return it to its original position. This card looks fine, just kind of niche. Almost would be a sideboard card, I think. But this is only good against specifically bluffs and quick play spells, so I actually want to give this a lower grade. I was going to give it a C as like a sideboard card, but now that I think about it, it hits a lot less than I thought. So I'm going to give Armed Ninja a D. I think it's not the worst line of text I've ever read, but way more niche than I initially thought. Armored Starfish. No, why did they print these? What is this for? F. Get out of here. Oh, Basic Insect. This card's kind of cool. I love the art, but even more unplayable than the other ones. Wow. Is this part of like some early fusion shenanigans? Or were they just like being very direct with the pack filler? Yeah, no, F for Basic Insect, but gets a B for art. I love the art. Beast Fangs. A beast type monster equipped with this card increases its attack and defense by 300 points. This seems just like bad equipment, just a bad aura, I think. 300 only? Unless there's a combo with this, I'm gonna give this an F. I think you just never play this for any reason. Oh, Beaver Warrior. Isn't this another anime card? I feel like I've seen this before. Just a Beast Warrior. And it's just gonna get an F. It's terrible! It's horrible! Actually, what is this? It's a 2 tribute, right? I mean, I gave Summon Skull a bad grade because you 1-for-1 yourself, but this you 2-for-1 yourself. Maybe I'm thinking about this a little too hard. Like, my instinct is telling me, don't play this card. But it'll solo win you the game if you get it out, and there's no answer to it. Again, I don't want to be the dice to removal guy, but this dice to removal, it's gonna get a D. I'm gonna give it the same grade as Summon Skull. I think these tribute summon beat sticks that don't do anything when they enter the battlefield are just not good enough. I'm gonna give this a D. Book of Secret Arts, a spellcaster type monster equipped with this card increases attack and defense by 300. Okay, so this is a cycle. Well, that Aqua Medor was a spellcaster. 2300 defense. Does that line up any better in this format? I still think this card's bad. Most auras just are. Unless it's like massive. But 300 is just probably not enough. I'm gonna stay consistent. I'm gonna give this an F. Oh, Celtic Guardian. Yeah, Yugi has this card, but it's bad. I think it's really bad. 1400 attack, like we could do a little better than that. Link, okay? F. Here we have our first fusion. Holy shit, this is horrible. No? Am I missing something? Unless those 2 cards that you're fusing this with say, when this card is used for fusion material, do X? Why would you ever make this? It's a 3-card combo that gets you nothing. This gets like an F-. There has to be something I'm missing. They wouldn't just make this, right? Curse of the Dragon. Wait, 5-star. Is the 5-star 1 tribute? Wait, does that make Summon Skull 2? If so, Summon Skull gets an F. If not, if Summon Skull's still 1 tribute, that's keep its grade, but if both are 1 tribute, this is just an F. Because just play Summon Skull. Wait, actually. This is a dragon. There might be more dragon card synergies than whatever Summon Skull is. But I don't know if those exist yet. So it gets a retroactive F. It could go to D if there's more dragon stuff. Dark Energy, Fiend type monster, 300. Okay. The same cycle. I think Summon Skull's a Fiend. So, I mean, this on a Summon Skull, you just get blown out even harder. These are all just gonna be Fs, I think. Until I see a synergy or something, and these are unplayable. Dark Gray. Is this a joke? The only fusion I've seen was unplayable dog shit. So these cannot be used for good fusions, right? These are just like complete pack filler. Nice. Nice. Dark Gray. You're dark. Great. F. Ooh, finally a real card. Dark Hole. This has to just be... I mean, destroy all monsters on the field. This is just an A, right? Like, cards like Dark Hole and Raigeki, I think are still just completely playable today, too. Yeah, this is just the sauce. The fact that you know this is in your deck, and if it's in your hand, you can play around it, let your opponent overextend. You get the crackback, too, which is the craziest part. In Yu-Gi-Oh, there's no summoning sickness, right? So you Dark Hole, and you get to attack that same turn. You get, like, double the value. You know it's coming, and you get the first crack. Yeah, no, this is the easiest A I'm probably gonna get. Dark King of the Abyss. I mean, I like the flavor text. Flavor text is nice. I still love that old school art, though. There's something that we will never get again, and it's art like this. Like, old school Magic art and old school Yu-Gi-Oh art, that, like, real gritty, like, almost D&D-esque kind of art style. Stuff's good, but this card is not. It's an F. The ultimate wizard in terms of attack and defense. Whoa. Well, this just changes everything. No, it doesn't. It's another D. Changes nothing. Just remove it. Just Dark Hole it. D. Darkfire Dragon. What is this art? Oh, okay. He's like looking down. It just looked like a complete mess to me at first. 1250 defense. Excellent. You know, you're really holding off the Aquamadors in attack position with this card, so clearly it's an A. This is horrible. What the fuck? No. This cannot be real. I mean, I guess when I was looking through Alpha in Magic, there were some real stinkers. Like the 1 mana cycle, with white being gain 3 life, and blues being draw 3 cards. It's just another F. Dark World. Thorns, a thorny plant found in the dark lands that wraps itself around any unwary traveler. F. Dissolver Rock. F. Dragon Capture Jar. Change all face-up dragon type monsters on the field to defense position. Also, they cannot change their battle positions. They were really afraid of Blue Eyes. Understandable. Imagine you 2 tribute, or was Blue Eyes 3? Imagine you... Oh, it's a continuous. Wait, so if you pop this, they can change their battle positions? It's not like the, was it Floodgate Trap Hole? I think it's called? I mean, it's a sideboard A if you're against a dragon deck versus literally everything else. It's an F. Like, that one's pretty easy. Okay, the dragon type version of the cycle, 300 points. Still an F. Another understated fusion. Wait, Armail? Wasn't Armail bigger than this? So you go from 700, 1300 to 1200, 900 at the low cost of another card and poly? I'm missing something. I'm missing a crucial piece of something. F? Drilling Lizard? Yeah, F. It's just another F. Electro Whip, the Thunder version of that cycle. I mean, it's kinky, but bad. F. Enchanting Mermaid. Damn, they put some big tits on that fish. Holy shit. Beautiful mermaid that lures voyagers into a water grave. Oh, it's a siren. Why would they not call it a siren? Is that a translation thing? I mean, it's an F. Yeah, it's just an F. I've just given everything an F so far. I don't know how much to say about it. It's just Exodia the Forbidden One. F. Fiend Reflection number 2. Where was number 1? Maybe I missed it. Again, there's not much to say. It's just an F. The art is really cool though. I actually really like this one. Like, there is a tormented soul trying to leave that mirror. I like the eye on top of the bird's head. Now this actually gets an A for artwork, but an F for playability. Burn cards, yes. Beautiful. I love me a good burn strategy. Haven't played it in Master Duel because it's really bad, and I think there's just bots that play it anyway. But 600 points to the dome. I don't think Yugioh's life point totals have changed at all. I think it's always just been 8k, right? So 600, I mean, if there's enough redundancy in the burn spells, I could maybe see it, but I don't think Yugioh has any of these. But if this said deal 600 to a monster or your opponent, like kind of like lightning bolt, this would be nice because it's a removal spell for smaller creatures, or it can get you over the finish line, right? But just raw burn, I want to give this a D. I'm going to say this is not unplayable. If there was a burn strategy, this would be used in it for sure. I'm just not 100% sure if there was a strategy like that. So I'm keeping a little conservative on this one. Firegrass, Plants versus Zombies looking ass thing. Like, I think, wait, this is one of the fusions that is horrible, right? This is one of those horrible fusions. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I love doing Plant versus Zombies, but I'm gonna have to give you an F. I'm sorry. Fire Ayu. Bro, like the abs are so defined, but he's gotta work on those arms a little bit, you know what I mean? A malevolent. Oh, he's a demon. Oh. Yeah, and leg day too. He's gotta work on those legs. Well, I mean, it's an F, but for art, C. C for art. Yeah. But F for the actual card. Oh, another card that actually does something. Fisher, destroy the one face-up monster your opponent controls that has the lowest attack. Your choice of Tide. Pop their worst creature. Might not necessarily be their worst creature. This is exactly the thing that punishes those tributes vanillas, right? You get your Summon Skull out, you've cleared up your board, and you just get fissured. It's gone. Right? I mean, it's just removal. I haven't seen any removal yet besides Dark Hole. This feels like it will deal with exactly what you need. You can set this up too, you know? You can get the board state kind of into your favor. So, I mean, even if you're behind, getting rid of their worst creature as a 1-for-1 is not the worst either, right? I want to give this a B. I think this was just played in the decks. It's not meta defining per se, but it just looks like a good piece of removal in a format that probably didn't have that much. Flame Ghost. F for Flame Ghost. Flame Manipulator. You're just like Flame Ghost, bud. You're gonna get an F. Flame Swordsman. Again, like, why? No, I'm starting to get offended. F. It certainly is a Flower Wolf. You definitely put flowers on the wolf. It's an F. Winged Beast version of this cycle. Again, it's still an F. I'd rather play the tribute monster over this, because chances are whatever you're equipping this to will not be as big as your Summon Skulls or that dragon one that's like 2k, right? So just play the tribute summon card. Why would you play this? Magic card jump scare. Forest. All insect, beast, plant, and beast warrior types gain 200 attack and defense. My initial thought is this is not one-sided. This could backfire on you just as easily as it can help you. But with the pretense that you're building your deck around this specifically, this seems like a decent payoff for building the deck around this. So far, I have not seen a lot of synergies between cards. And as opposed to a one-off equipment that's just 300 on one creature, if you're going wide, this makes your monsters way more lethal. Or it could help you wall up in a pinch too. I want to say this is a C. This card has power, and if you build around it, it might be one of the better cards in your deck. But I guess the true question is, how much is 200 really worth if you're building around it and you don't intend on running into another strategy that uses any of these types of monsters? I actually want to give this a B. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm just thinking of it like an enchantment. In Magic, if you had an enchantment that says all your creatures get +1/+1, that's really good. That's a premium. It's just that this, how much do you equate +1/+1 in Magic to Yu-Gi-Oh? Is 200 too little? I'm gonna go with my gut though. I'm gonna say this is a good card, at least for the time. And if you build around this, you'll be paid off. B for Forest. Frenzied Panda. Savage Beast. Yeah, no, yeah, you just... Another F. Fusionist. There are normal summons that are better than this. I have to be missing something. This card confirms I have to be missing something. 900? 700? There has to be some sort of fusion payoff. There has to be like a forest for fusions that is like fusions get 1,000 attack, right? That's the only way this makes sense. F for Fusionist. Oh, a fusion that has stats. What the fuck? Okay, now see, this is hard, right? Actually, it's very easy. So you have to open Poly and exactly, even the first one that seemed playable now just looks unplayable. It just makes the other ones look even worse. Holy shit. I mean, I guess if you get this out, like it's strong. Beat over someone's skull with it. Okay, if there is a fusion deck, and this is the best one I've seen so far, if you're going to play a fusion deck, this seems like a pale. So I want to give it a D. It's not good, but if you get it out, you might win. Just don't get fissured or dark hold. Gaia the Fierce Knight. So 7 is 2 tributes, and this is smaller than Summon Skull. Couldn't you put like a little, like, make this an effect monster with like a little, gotta sweeten the pot a little bit, you know? I mean, it's objectively worse. Summon Skull. Was this Summon Skull just better than I thought? Did I give it too low of a grade? This just gets an F. Giant Soldier of Stone. See, this has some nice juicy stats on it. 13 attack. That's higher than Aquamador, I think. Yeah, I mean, if it's just objectively better Aquamador, then I still give it a C. I mean, it's still just used for its booty, right? Yeah, I think C is where I put this. Yeah. Goblin's Secret Remedy. Increase your life points by 600. Never have I ever seen a life gain spell that is good. It's an F. Gravedigger Ghoul. Target 2 monster cards from your opponent's graveyard. Remove the selected cards from play. Okay, so just banish 2 monsters. So I want to say early on, probably unplayable, probably an F. This probably gets value later down the road. So I'm going to give it an F, just for its time period. But this is the kind of card that has potential to see play later. Green Phantom King. What's your stats, King? 5/16. Your plant. I have a feeling the spells are going to be the only interesting parts of this. F. Hain. Flip. Select one monster field or turn goes on. Ooh. More effect monsters. See, this is actually interesting, right? So in Magic, we call this a Mana War. Mana War being enter the battlefield, send something back to the hand. This is a little more restrictive, but this is really good onboard interaction, actually. Even if you're playing, I mean, I assume the tribute strategy wasn't that good, but this is always here for that, right? And this is just good tempo. You set this, they attack into it, and you can send another one of their cards that maybe they just summoned back to hand. Buys you a lot of time. If there are ways to flip this over and over, you just get insane value. How good is Unsummon on a Stick? I'm gonna say good. Unsummon on a Stick. Yeah, Mana War's a good card. Hain's a good card. I'm giving it a B. Yeah. A Living Suit of armor that attacks its enemies with a bone-jarring tackle. Whoa! Holy shit! F! This is so fucking bad! Hinotoma. Or burn. This is just worse than the other burn card. But it's redundancy, right? So I was thinking, you know, if there is a burn strategy in the game, again, you would run this. For sure. So I'm gonna give it the same grade as the other one. I'll give it a D. I can only assume there wasn't a burn strategy. There wasn't enough burn cards to make it a deck yet. But they're still not the worst in the world. So I think D's a nice home for these. Oh, it's the soul of the spell card. And it is 4 times worse than the spell card. So you get an F. One-eyed behemoth with thick, powerful arms made for delivering punishing blows. Hitsumi giant. I'm mirroring those gains, but I'm not mirroring those stats. F. Kagemusha of the Blue Flame. Just, yeah, let's get over with. M Warrior 1, M Warrior 2. Combined to make Carbonala Warrior? Oh, it's King Fog, baby. It's King Fog. It's King Fog. Kumutuku. It's kind of fun to say. Kumutuku. Massive intelligent spider that traps enemies above it. Again, I'm an insect fan, so this gets a C for art and flavor and a name. No, actually, a B. A B. I like the name so much. Kumutuku. But you're unplayable. So, F. Kurama. Larvass. Fast-moving bird-like creature that strangles opponents' monsters with his long, thin arms. Ooh. Man, the flavor text really hypes up the card, and then you look at it. F. The insect version of the cycle. Just gonna get another F. Oh, okay, so, okay. No, I see where this is going. Yeah. This is probably the best card I've seen so far. This is gonna get an A. Yeah. Left arm of the Forbidden One. Give it the preemptive F. But how is his left arm a spellcaster? Or her? There's the leg. When does it end? I just want a good card. Lesser Dragon. Maybe I'm missing something with the attributes. This is a wind. Maybe there's like wind strategies, right? Like kind of like magic colors. Payoffs for being in wind. So you play like bad wind creatures, but they all come together to make a good wind board. I'm coping. I'm coping really, really hard. F. Oh, there's the first M Warrior. Make it quick. Ooh, the second M Warrior. Yeah, this one's way better. The machine version of the cycle. Yep, same grade. F. Mammoth Graveyard. Maybe I'm grading these too harshly, actually. Some might have to retroactively be changed because you have to play a 40 card deck minimum. And you can't just fill it with dark holes and fissures and like Aquamadors. I'm gonna stick with my guns though. We're gonna keep handing them out. Man-Eater. Man-eating plant with poison feelers for attacking enemies. Feel this F. So that'll be it for part 1. Let me know what you guys think. A little shorter, a little longer, just right. Get better at reviewing. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.